Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Race Advisor video content analysis of Royal Ascot. So day 1 we would have done okay with a second placed at 7 to 1 had we taken the early prices, and a winner with Thomas Hobson in the Ascot Stakes at 5 o'clock. So that puts us pretty much on an even keel, and we move on to day 2. Always optimistic that we can at least break even or make a profit, and hopefully we can use these two pieces of software, which is Profit Recall and the Racing Dossier, to our advantage, gain our edge and take a profit on the meeting as a whole. However, this is 5 days of seriously competitive punting, and we need to take it day by day, and this is day 2, so it's early days. This is, as I'm sure you'll hear people say, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So first race is the 2:30 Jersey Stakes. It's a Group 3 race, and looking at Profit Recall, we've got Deban, White Cliffs of Clover and Winning Ways. Now what I'm going to do, unlike yesterday's analysis, is literally do this live as I would analyse the race. Yesterday I'd kind of set it up a little bit more, I kind of knew what I was looking at, so this will give you a good feel as to how to use two pieces of software to come to your selections. So looking at Profit Recall, I'm going to focus on the top 3 in this case. Certainly in a festival, we want something quick and punchy, get in there, find our likeliest winners, ignore value, which these columns will allow us to do, but that's for long-term bettors, and assume that with these top 3 we're looking at the best horses. Now we need to compare this to Racing Dossier, which will give us what I'm focusing on here is kind of, this is how we look at the form, how you'd look at wins over distance, the going, etc., etc. The kind of things that you'd look at when you were looking at the form. And this, once we sort the wheat from the chaff, if you like, will show us that White Cliffs of Dover is a strong contender here. It's also the second rated in Profit Recall, so therefore this becomes a selection. Now what we can do, once we've subscribed to certainly Racing Dossier, is click on this horse, ignore the other 2, and actually add this to our selections. And then within here we can say we're going to back it. Odds range is if you're testing systems and decide whether you're going to follow something between 5 to 1 or 10 to 1 or whatever your kind of odds range or preference or whatever. In here we're going to put stake size is 1. Now we need to look at the market before we decide on what our stake size is. Looking at White Cliffs of Dover, we've got a quarter of the odds the first 4, a fifth of the odds. I'm going to assume it's a fifth of the odds the first 3 stroke 4, depending on what bookmaker you can place your bet at. On that basis, I'm going to say that we're going to go each way about this. So we can add this selection to our archive of bets, if you like. So, swiftly moving on, we go to the 305, which is the Queen Mary Stakes. It's a Group 2. It's fillies only. And again, we're looking at the top 3 here. we've got Shika La Habana, Emilia James, and Cirilisi. I swear these people that name the horses are testing my pronunciation skills. So if we go to the racing dossier and we look at the contender, finder ranking and contender, we can see here that Emilia James again is raced in the last 20 days. That was her last good race. She's won 50% of her races. Yeah, this could be a good horse. And looking at the market, she's a good price there. That could be worth an each way punt. So we go to here. We've highlighted this horse and we can add this to our selections. We're going to go each way, stick in our stake size and add to selections. Moving on to the next race. Again, we focus on the top three: Absolute Blast, Laugh Aloud and Purette. Going over to Racing Dossier, we've got Laugh Aloud and pretty much nothing else. Okay, so we can see that Laugh Aloud is the second rated in Profit Recall. It's also a day since last run 18, day since last good run is 18, and a high win percentage. This is a very strong looking horse. So if we look at the market, we can see that it's a justified favourite. So 3-1, it is a big winner field, but I'm happy to go win only bet on that. So we're on the Racing Dossier tab here. We can add this to the selections and we're just going to go back rather than each way and add that to the selections. Moving on swiftly to the next race, we've got the Prince of Wales Stakes, which is a Group 1. Highly competitive, 9 runners, so yeah, we're looking for a winner here. We've got Neswa, Decorated Knight and Scottish. So we go to races and we've got Decorated Knight and nothing else. So this is a very high contender ranking here of 7. Let's just have a quick look at the market. And we can see that Decorated Knight is an 8-1 shot. Now we've still got 3 places here, so I'd be inclined to go each way about this one. So again, we can add this to our selections each way, but we do it to 1 unit stake. Then we come to the penultimate race and we've got Fastnet Tempest, George William Côte d'Or, and Fastnet Tempest is our strongest ranking within Racing Dossier. So that looks likely to be a very strong contender. Let's go to the market, which we did have here. Okay, it's at the top end of the market, but again, bookies are offering up to 5 places here. Sky Bet are offering up to 6 places. So I think we should add that to our selections. There's a lot of runners there, 30 odd runners, but we'll go each way. Add that into there. And then finally, the last race, we've got Queen of Time, Gymnast and Cheval Blanche. And nothing that really kind of marries up with that. Now, in terms of keeping this swift and efficient, I would say, unlike the other races, we will give that one a miss because the two softwares don't marry up and we haven't got a selection there. Okay, so now we arrive at our final selections. And we can see that we've got the 2:30, the 3:05, the 3:40, the 4:20, the 5 o'clock, and of course in the last race we've omitted any bets as we just can't find a selection basically. And with Racing Dossier we can select the qualifying bets that we have, and these will be logged. We can go back and analyse these, and we can also go back and interrogate any further data should we need it. So these are our final selections, and I hope that on day 2 we, well, at best, at least break even like we did on day 1. And this is a marathon, not a sprint. And let's hope that we can continue to, at least find 1 or 2 winners and make a profit on the festival. Good luck.